will later on get an opportunity to network. Our request, in particular, bringing it closer to home as MTN Free State, is to say, let us make as much noise as possible collectively about all of these, no pun intended, potholes that are standing in our way in order for us to not make this city and this province a better place. Lastly, next week we would also like to urge, we realize that media houses nowadays have got really a whole list of challenges. And it's not only technological, it's not only financial, but I think in just the sustainability of themselves as media houses and media establishments. Our commitment to next week is, please reach out to us. Let us try and see as MTN how best can we assist you respectively and individually as media houses to continue to drive these positive messages that we would like our people to know about. We've got way too much negativity going on. We've got way too much negativity being spread around. Let us be that voice of change. And through us as MTN wanting to become a technology company, we are asking on yourselves to say, reach out and let us see collectively and collaboratively how can we really take this province and this country forward. With those very few words, we welcome you here to the MTN White House. I think some of you, when you arrived, you saw that we underwent a transformation. We're not a White House anymore. But however, really, we want to become your home away from your home. With these words, I welcome you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mukwena. I think if we start this collaboration and working together, we must put some milestones so that we can track progress. I just want to acknowledge that I've seen some of our colleagues here, Mr. Makubela there, our heads of communications. I've seen Auslindi. I don't know if I've seen other colleagues from different departments. Mr. Mukukwani from Treasury. Sorry? Human Settlements. Okokta. Who's representing? Okay. Welcome, my sister. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm sure we will see when others join. But thanks very much. Mr. Mukoka is sitting somewhere there, and we wanted him to join us here because he is directly linked to our work. But then, colleagues, let me proceed so that we stick to the business of the day. I think we are forging ahead. The province is focused. The work has been done. Our different teams are hard at work. As we speak, there's another team that is sitting at the Ratsal dealing with the logistics of the Sopa. And yeah, I think the first thing that we need to indicate is that, yes, we have established and confirmed the venue for the Sopa, and the State of the Province address and the official opening of the legislature will be held at the University of the Free State, Vista campus. And the post-Sopa lunch will be held at Dr. Rantlai Petrus Molemela. So when you are allocated accreditation, just make sure that follow through the guidance that will be given so that you are in a right venue. We will start at 8 o'clock as we normally do, and we expect that members of the Free State Legislature, members of the NCOP, and our delegates, and all other guests, which will include a number of distinguished guests, especially speakers from different provinces, will also arrive at the venue at 8 o'clock in the morning. The premier and the speaker will also arrive at 10 to 9 in the morning to join the official proceedings, which will begin outside the venue with the premier salute and the hoisting of the flag. And I've been informed that 90% work has been done in arranging the fly past. So we will have the fly past, which is normally conducted by the South African National Defence Force. And at that time, the praise singer will lead the procession into the chamber and allow the premier to be seated, and the security will be guiding us in the protocol of the Free State Legislature in terms of movement of the people at that time, to ensure that all guests are seated and that all other people who are not supposed to be in the chamber will be allocated in the overflow tent. We are informed that there will also be other tents outside the chamber. One of those tents will include the media tent, which will be used as well as a venue for the media briefing immediately after the State of the Province address, to allow colleagues to interact with the Premier immediately after the tabling of the speech. We will allow only 30 media personnel inside the chamber of the House. And I'm sure you will remember that, unlike before, where a cap would be put on the number of the media, we have agreed that using the online registration form, which is on the website, I believe it is closing tomorrow. All those who would have submitted, all media houses who would have submitted online, would be allowed at the event using the media tent outside, but making it possible for all of you to be able to interact with your leaders immediately after the sitting, because inside the space is still limited. There will be 5,000 people who will be attending the SOPA, including our team, which is staff, police, security, media, and everybody else. So it's a huge number that requires proper management. There will also be a provision for infrastructure for all media houses who will need infrastructure to help us cover and broadcast the event. We request that all media houses who need to be allocated infrastructure must reach out to me at least by the 25th of February, and if it is possible, some of you be able to visit the venue between those dates of the 25th to the 26th to look at the area in which you will be operating, so that we don't have incidents on the day of the event. The legislature normally appoints official photographers. I know that we've got a lot of photographers who want to take pictures on the day. Um, there are demarcated areas in which official photographers are allowed to take pictures, like in the chamber and outside the chamber within the red carpet, where members will be taking a group photo. Those areas are areas that are demarcated for official photographs. I think it's a norm, so we don't have to struggle about that on the day of the event. We expect that a huge number of media houses will attend the SOPA for obvious reasons. Politically, the environment has changed, and therefore everybody wants to be part of the event. So we call on colleagues to talk to us on time, to use any opportunity that is available, telephonically, email, WhatsApp, Facebook, whatever platform that you need to use to reach us, so that by the time we get to that point, everything is sorted on your side. There will be allocated parking when you arrive at Vista on the right hand side before you reach the main gate. There will be allocated parking on the right, which the same gate will be used for honorable members, although they will be allocated somewhere closer to the door. An arrangement of generators will be utilized when the need arise. We hope that there won't be any need. And as a norm, the Free State Province normally ensures that the people who form part of the SOPA includes the public, international guests, speakers from different provinces, premiers, MPLs, executive mayors, speakers of municipalities, leaders of churches and church members, people with disability, traditional leaders, business, political parties, especially those which are represented within the Free State Legislature, heads of departments and heads of entities. So those are the people who will form part of the large number of the contingents of our guests. And then the media. That's why I said the list is actually unlimited for the media this time around. There will also be facilities in the media tent, like the screens, the printers, catering, so that it is habitable for our colleagues. And I think that is a long and short, colleagues, of what we're supposed to be doing next week. You have until 12 o'clock tomorrow to submit, those who have not submitted the forms online. We're using that online registration because I'm sure some of you know very well that previously I've been under attack for people accusing me of not giving them accreditation to the SOPA. So the process that we have applied does not require you to call me to ask for accreditation. You go online, you submit the form, we pick it up in the office, they assess it, they give it to security for quality assurance, and if the security is happy, if the security is not happy, you will probably receive a call to clarify some of your credentials. Other than that, you are free to attend the SOPA. Media houses who will be allocated within the chamber will have a different tag in terms of color. Those who will be allocated in the media tent will have a different tag in order to manage the space inside. So that is a long and short, and thank you very much. I think we can allow for questions if there are. If we don't have questions, colleagues can actually congratulate ourselves in terms of the progress that we have done and make comments. But what I can promise is that the province is intact. We are ready. The red carpet is going to be rolled. The stage is going to be set. Everything is in order for next week, and leadership will be, available to perform their honorary duties. Thank you very much. Any questions, colleagues? Bale, can you help me with just noting some of the hands that I cannot see from behind? Let's take 5 hands first, if there are.
Are you ready first? Good morning, colleagues. I'm Jimmy Mapohosha from Central TV. My questions are obvious. You just gave us the logistic part of the event. But the question becomes, who is going to deliver the stage of the province address? And according to my understanding is that, are we still having the very same MECs who are supposed to be the members of the House? And lastly, are you guys going to call us if there are changes again about either the new incoming premier or the current premier?
Ke a leboha lebitso la ka ke Neo, fane ya ka ke Kabi. Ke tswa mediang house o bitswang The Covenant. Potso tsa ka di tla ba pedi fela mohlomong kapa ke fumane kutlwisiso. Ke tle ke sebedise leleme lena le sebediswang Freistata la Marena la Sesotho. Ya pele ntate live, ha o ko etsahale hore re ske ra bona speakera sa legislature se bua pitsong ena e le bitsitseng. Ke ka morero kapa le ena o sa hatisitswe ko sena. Ya bobedi ene ke re ke tlo e botsa ke ya mopremiri ya motjha hobaneng ke bone re memetswe sebokeng sa boraditaba ke sebuelli sa mopremiri ka hora ya bobedi 2 o'clock ka jeno mo ke nahanang hore Mema Ntombela o lo itokolla semmuso le hore jwetsa o ya kae. Jwale no ke sememo se teng se ke qetang ho se fumana nna motho ya registered wa media. Ka letsatsi lena la lona la Sopa, hangata ke bone le kwekwe tla rona batho ba leng mona e leng di local media. Hoba bana ba bang ha bayo ba se ba tseba hore ba tla dula ditulong tsa marena. Ke utlwile ka rotla ba le bothata ba hore re kene ka hare kaofela. Mme ke ne ke re taba eo ke sejwe mongaka hore na le ke lanka la ile ba babedi ba bararo mohlomong ha re le tjena re tle re shebe hore na bana ba Central TV ba tseba ho shoota mohlomong ba tle ba kene ka hare a le mong a re nkele dinepe a re neletse re tle re be le puisano ska fumana haholo nna ke itseba ke tshukodiso me leng hore ke tla batla ke shobana le ba bang ka letsatsi leo hobaneng ke batla ho hlahisa diketsahalo. Jwale ne ke re mongaka a tle a e shebe mohlomong le hore puisano e tle be teng hoba tsela eo ke shootang ka yona hore momamedi le motho ya shebang quality ya rona ya mosebetsi marangrang a se tsela eo ntate ba leseng a rutuweng ho shoota ka yona ka hara legislature. O na le nepe tsa etsa legislature, re na le nepe tsa rona tsa babui. Jwale ke ka hone ke re fela ntlheng eo a ke le re dumelleng fela ho hata pela red carpet tsatsing leo ho nka dinepenyana ka hare formal programming ha re no le tshwenya mare dinepe tseo ke dumela mopremiri ya motjha o tla feta ho tsona re tle re di fumane. Ke na ke kopo ya ka fela yo mongaka ke a leboha.
right. Thank you. Um, K. Johnson Kobo from the Business Weekly. My questions are just two. The first one, Kutlulia, you mentioned the guests that will be there. So are there any dignitaries from the national who will be present? Since Nirbabona frequenting the Free State, monitoring the progress here in our province. And also, what can we expect? Because throughout the years, we've been having complaints, the service delivery, potholes and so forth. Can we expect that the Premier to address such things in her address? Number.
Good morning. How are you guys? Colleagues, friends, and everybody present here. I just want to ask two questions. He already touched on the first two in the sense of the incoming premier. We already know that there's new premier coming in. The second question is, will the question that he asked be followed by the same question that asked the question that says, is the executive coming in the same one that we know or don't know? And the third and most important question that I have from my side as Geek Streaming is, you said allocation of about 30 people. Would we be allowed to take questions directly to the executive in the House? Yeah, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Naki Winima Khanya from Yabato FS Productions. Now, my question I'd like to think is quite simple. As Nadine Fries has now opened a group for media, are we going to be informed on when the setup? Can we start going to the university to set up? Will it be the day before? Because I know at times we go there about 4 or 5 times. Hey, how so they do so that we can run cables and everything, because in the morning on the day obviously we can't do that, and we get shouted at a lot, but it's not really fault because we never know when we can go to the actual venue set up everything so that we are also just ready for the next day. Thanks.
No, thanks, colleagues. I will start from the last question. I think we do try to improve year in, year out, and I think the application of the online registration is an attempt to prove that we are trying to remove all the barriers that make it difficult for media to participate during the State of the Province address. So yes, of course, as I indicated when I was presenting the briefing notes, that the date of the 25 and the 26 are allocated for all media houses that needs infrastructure to set up, to communicate with me, so that I can, guide you as to who you must interact with, because we do have another team which is responsible for technical stuff. So just talk to us so that we register that Batu is going to arrive on this day at this time, so that you do not have problems when you arrive. Will you be able to ask questions directly in the House? No. It's never the case. The business of the day is the State of the Province address, and that is the only item on the order paper on the day. You are, however, allowed to interact with the Premier during the post-SOPA media briefing. All of you will be allowed to interact with the Premier despite the color of your accreditation. Do we expect service delivery concerns? We hope not, but you know very well that State of the Province address is a platform on its own where, you know, normally in South Africa, democracy expresses itself, and people think, let's use this platform to showcase our concerns. However, there are arrangements done by the security to ensure that certain streets are closed so that if there are demonstrations or marches, do not come any closer to the venue, and to allow people who are supposed to go and receive memorandums, if the need arise, to go and receive memorandums. And we normally do that through radio announcement. When the government receives invitation or notice that there will be demonstrations or marches or anything of that sort. So yeah, we do not expect there will be such, but we are ready if that happens. Dignitaries, yes, I did indicate there will be dignitaries. Normally, there's also high commissioners. You do have, you know, high commissioners of different countries, especially Lesotho. The closer countries that are here, China, you know that there is very strong ties between South Africa and China, BRICS. So all those dignitaries normally form part of our list. We do intend to host another media briefing a day before SOPA, when the Premier and the Speaker will be undertaking the dry run at the venue, just to look at the final output of the preparations. Nadine will communicate with all media houses in this regard. We consider that as another opportunity for you to interact with the Premier before the State of the Province address. So some of your concerns on that day might be resolved. This question as to who is going to table the SOPA. My answer is always very simple. The Premier will table the SOPA. We will deal with the name later, but the Premier of the Free State will table the SOPA. And currently we do have a Premier. I'm sure all of you know. And we are not aloof. There has been announcements that were made in terms of the looming changes that might happen. We are not politicians or administrators. When those changes happen, we do what we normally do. We set up the stage, politicians take the stage, and they talk to the people. So the Speaker never miss media briefings. Yes, the Speaker never miss media briefings. But remember, colleagues, this is my function. It is my function. If the Speaker is not here, it's still cool. Unless you don't want to interact with me, then it's another issue. But yes, the Speaker never misses the media briefings. And I'm sure you will be able to interact with the Speaker when we host another media briefing. Local media, I think, let us be honest, colleagues, we always ensure that if needs be, we reduce the list. I'm sure there are colleagues who can attest to this. We will reduce the list of individual media houses to accommodate, to ensure that almost everybody is represented in the list of 30. So there are media houses which always want to force extra numbers to say, no, we are bringing cameramen and this, and then all of a sudden you have 8 people. We will reduce that list so that you only prioritize, you know, people who are supposed to perform certain functions. Writers and stuff like that, we can have those people in the media tent, but to ensure that everybody is involved. We will try to address the issue of the stringent measures which are being applied by protocol during the red carpet photo shoot. We will address those, and I'm sure there will be some arrangement made so that, because the events are not the same. It's not a usual SOPA. We know there's too much interest on this one. So we will ensure that we allow space. Are we going to call the media? As I said, yes, we might have a media briefing before the SOPA. Are there going to be same MECs? I'm sure the Premier can answer that question. As to which MECs are going to be there. As far as we are concerned, all MECs are members of the legislature. They are on our list. They will be attending the SOPA, whether in their capacities as MEC or as merely as MPLs. For us, it is not important. But the Premier will be able to talk to you, and you will know which MECs are those. Thank you very much. If there is any other question that I did not cover, I do have colleagues here. Mukukwani is there. If there's a question that I did not clarify, you can assist me. Extra questions? Balsing? There's one there. Yes. Shop steward voice. That's all. That's the only question we have now for now. Okay. I take it that will be the last question. Okay. Thank you. Yes, of course. If the need arises, there will be a special sitting that is convened to undertake that process. Normally, when the Premier is to be elected, is elected among members of the legislature. So yeah. So we will have the special sitting if the need arises, and as usual, that will be communicated through the TAC. And Nadine will also circulate an additional media advisory to that extent. And I'm sure once the Premier has been elected in the House, you know the next process is that the Premier will invite you to his own media briefing to communicate if he intends to make further changes in the Executive Council. These things are provided for in the Constitution, so it's not any kind of information I'm giving you. And when that time comes, our colleagues in the Premier's office, the communication team in the Premier's office will then communicate with you. We will not be involved in that process. A follow-up? Yes, of course. No. No, there's no possibility. Is that all? Sopa will be on the 28th of February. That date is not going to change. Thank you, colleagues. Please join us immediately after the session. Mr. Mukoka is requested to just give us a vote of thanks, and then we are done with our program.
May I stand up? My job is very easy. I'm told to say thank you. But on a lighter note, colleagues, that's on a lighter note. Thank you to everyone who has made time to be here. And we hope that moving forward we'll have a more workable relationship. And thank you for profiling our work. And we are confident we'll further have more established relationships. Meanwhile, you will enjoy your breakfast there. That's organized by Life through necessary approval processes, I hope. And let's interact. Thank you very much.